Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and I hope you're ready to paint today because today we're going to practice our galaxies. Galaxies are something that I absolutely love, but don't necessarily know how to paint necessarily. So we are going to do a little bit of practice with that today. So I do have kind of an idea of what I want to do. I'm going to replicate an image I found on Google, and of course, as I always try to do, I always try to put the reference in the description box below. So what I'm going to try and replicate today is a silhouette. So this is kind of the image that I'm looking after. I'm not using that color palette necessarily. If you want to replicate that color palette with the oranges and the blues, by all means. I like a galaxy that has more pinks and purples in it. Use whatever colors you want to use. This is all up to you. I just did a really rough pencil sketch down here for my silhouette, but I will not be doing the silhouette until towards the end when I will be doing it with black ink. But what I want to do right now is wet my paper. So it is Monday. I always try to film my real-time paints on Mondays, just to make sure I have enough time to edit and upload them for Wednesdays. And as you may know if you live in America, yesterday was the Super Bowl. I'm not the biggest Super Bowl or football fan, I should say. I'm not the biggest football fan. But, yep, it was kind of sort of a big deal in the house yesterday. You know, being that my family was very much into sports when my brothers were in school. But yeah, whoever you rooted for, you know, good for them. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. So my paper is wet. I am using, see, I have the white webcam back. I don't know if you guys even care for it. I'm not sure, but I just wanted you guys to see what I'm using. And it is the Pelikan palette, as well as this, I believe it's the Niji, I think it's Yasutomo Niji palette. It's glittery watercolors. So I'm trying to decide how I want to go about this, because my thought is I really want the horizon here to be the lightest, so I want all the darks to be up at the top. So I really should have tacked this down. I don't know why I didn't. You know what? Why don't I see about trying to do that? Get some sticky tack, and I'll just put it on the back of the paper. Hopefully that will keep it down for me. So I got a new watercolor journal in the mail from Amazon. And I really like it. I like it because it holds, it's let me just show you. It folds down flat because of the way it was stitched. I really like this. The only thing I have to complain about, sort of, is the pages are a bit thinner than, say, this watercolor journal. I feel like after I've used these both up and they're like completely filled, then maybe I'll do like a review on them or something, but that's for a future video. Okay, so I'm taking my poor old broken brush. This is pretty damp now. Go over it just a little bit more. And I'm gonna start adding my colors. I always like stall because I'm never sure. Okay, my lightest colors. How do we want to do this? Well, I want to do pinks, but I don't want to do... There's no going back once you do this. You know what? Let's try peach. I didn't really think of peach as an option. I don't know. How's this gonna... Ooh, it's not that damp anymore. Have to go in with more water. There we go. I'm always scared to do galaxies because I am one who really likes control when I want to like paint or color. But you don't have control when you do watercolor, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Alright, so I'm liking that. That looks nice. I like that kind of blend. Okay. My paper's starting to dry out already. Now the reason I'm starting with the lighter colors first, and I'm working my way up, I don't want all of the bleed from the darker colors to go down into the light area. So by working my way up, I'm kind of helping prevent all of that bleed from coming down. I'm gonna add some yellow. Let's try yellow. I don't really know what I'm doing as far as these color options that I'm trying. I'm just kind of seeing what works today. I always feel like that. I'm always unsure when I start an art project, because I never know how it's gonna go. Especially when I do these. This video that I do every week for you guys is probably the one that I'm always the most nervous to do. Because I'm never sure how it's gonna end up in the end, you know? Like when you do speed paints, you have the option of not posting it on the internet. I mean, technically I have the option of not posting this too, but then I wouldn't have a video for you guys for Wednesdays. And I like having a video for you guys on Wednesdays. Okay, so we got that. I think I'm going to start adding the pinks too. But I need to wet my page. Didn't realize how much this was. This is just really soaking up the water today. Alright, let's start adding pink. You know what? I have this color palette here. Can't talk. I have this one here with the glitter. I'm going to start adding those too. I'll add the pink first. See how that works. Get some spread going. And see, now that it's starting to dry, it doesn't want to feather out as much. So that means I have to go in here and put some more water in. And now I'm gonna get a puddle now. There we go. I do have towels though. I'm gonna utilize those. Where did they go? They're over here. Just try and soak up that excess water because it's everywhere. And that's one thing I don't like about this particular journal, is that because it won't stay flat and because it's in a book form, it's incredibly hard for you to get a surface that isn't going to get these puddles everywhere on the sides. Okay, I got some feathering going, but I do need to wet the page just a little so that I can get more pink feathering in there. Because I want it upwards. Because I'm getting orange, which isn't a bad thing because that's a nice transition from the yellow. But I really, really want that pink to show off. I might use my dropper too. I'm not really sure yet. Can you hear that? It's my desk. Here, just touch it. Touch. That looks cool. Alright. Getting like a neat wispy cloudy effect over there. It looks really cool. But I actually am going to play a little bit here. Of course I'm getting a puddle over there. Oh well. That's alright. Okay. I'm going to start Getting a little bit of pink up. A little bit more up here. There. See, that's what I want. I want it to like really burst a lot more. Oh, what I could have done, if you remember to, if you watch this before doing it with me, maybe get some salt and like throw it down on your paper while you're playing, because that creates really cool effects too. I actually did that in my other Galaxy video I did a while back. That was a fun video. I didn't really like how it turned out though, but the process was really fun. Okay, so I'm getting some nifty looking. These almost look like Northern Lights or something, actually. Okay. My paper is very damp. Very, very wet. There we go. It's very bright. I'm going to have to definitely like try and intersperse some other stuff. Let me look at my reference image. And see, I'm always unsure of how dark or how light I need to go. That's definitely something I've always had to work on, is my contrasting and things like that. Okay. Why don't we start to add a little bit of blue in between the pink. That way we can start to darken everything. I'm going to use ultramarine here, as well as a darker glitter blue. And we're just going to let them play. There we go. There. It's really cold. It snowed yesterday. And so now it's super cold down here. Look at that. And now we're going to be doing, you know, several layers, I'm sure, because there is a lot of white space that we need to cover up. So of course we'll be pausing and all that fun stuff. But I just wanted to get my colors down real quick. And I'm going to put some purple in now at the very top. I might add these colors in different spots, but for right now I wanted to add them a little more strategically to start, just to see where I'm at. Alright, so now I have like down there. Okay, so far so good, but of course we're not done. Definitely need to let this dry so then we can go back with another layer. Alright, so let me just dab here. Dab. Just kidding. Just kidding. I bet that hasn't been done before. I'm not usually like that memeiful. Not usually. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna let this sit. It's gonna dry, and then when we come back, we're gonna start adding more colors on top, and then hopefully we'll get the effect we want. So I will see you guys in a second. Alright, so we're back. This is pretty much dry. It's a little damp in some spots, but I think we can work with it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my broken brush here. I should have got new water, but I didn't. I am going to just lightly pat down here where a couple is, because I don't like, the watercolor is going to reactivate no matter what I do, but I don't want to mix what's already laid down. Does that make sense? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get new water. I'm gonna be so unprofessional right now. Hopefully I remember to edit this out. But I won't. Fresh water. I normally have like some reserves, but I forgot. I made some green tea during my little break there. Alright, here we go. I want to pat that on there because we still have a lot of white showing and we do not want that. Well, I don't want it. If you want it, by all means, but I don't want it. So I'm just still patting because I'm going to do what I did before and I'm going to layer the light colors up into the darker colors. Okay, how are we doing here? And we want the paper fairly wet, okay? Because we want that feather effect. All right, I'm going to continue up here a little. Ooh, put too much on. All right, that's how we look. Good. Let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to continue with that peach color. I don't know why, but I like this peach color for this. I'm not sure how the end result's going to look particularly, but I like it right now. And who knows, it might not even be all that peachy once we're done. There we go. And I found with this Pelikan palette that the colors do dry pretty grainy. But they're really fun to work with though. I was practicing in that other journal yesterday because I don't want to watch the Super Bowl. So I was just practicing. I'm taking, along with that really light yellow, I'm taking sort of a medium yellow. And I'm just gonna start putting in some yellow now. And I think on the sides here, I might make it come down just a little bit. Okay. It's not mingling exactly how I want. And I'm still having that problem with all this water pooling on the side. Come on, soak it up. Because right now, the way my paper is, it's like, hold on, it's like this. Ooh. I don't know if that even got through. It's just kind of not working for me. It's like a little hump in the middle of my journal. It's not helping. Alright, I'm going to go back in with that really light yellow and just keep spotting it in areas. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a lot of graininess. It's very granular right now. Okay. So we are going to continue with that pink again. But first I'm going to try and wet the paper a little bit, slightly above. My water's all yellow now. Alright, let's go. I'm not feathering. Why aren't you feathering? can do it. I believe in you. Don't know what's going. Sometimes this works and sometimes this doesn't for some reason. And my paper is like saturated. If I put any more on my paper, maybe I'll make my brush a little bit wetter. There we go. That was helpful. I was gonna say, if my paper gets any wetter, we're gonna have a problem. Gonna have lots of problems. Alright, just dragging that color around. Well, not dragging, dropping more really. Dabbing. No more memes today. How's that look? That looks pretty cool. I find galaxies are really hard for me. Like, abstract art in general is just hard for me to grasp. It's just one of those concepts that I'm unsure of. Because in my head, I have a very structured kind of, like, system. Like, everything, and even, like, I find that even trying to just do art in what I would consider my own drawing style is really hard lately. Because I just want things to look how they're supposed to. Like, say, like, Voltron, alright, Legendary Defender, is one of my favorite shows. And when I draw characters from that show, I want them to look how they appear on the show. And that's not necessarily, like, a bad thing. But, like, there's a ton of artists who are able to draw those characters well in their own art style. And I just, for some reason, I just can't. Like, it has to look like them from the show. Like, I had just drawn a screen recap or something from the show. I don't know. I think that's a mindset that I really need to get out of this year. Is that it's okay to draw in my own drawing style. And it's just been like this whole awful thing that I just can't get out of right now. But hopefully, maybe I can. Alright, so we got some fun mingling going on. I do want to add more pink. But I want to add it towards the top. With the blue and the purple. In my now yellow water. Ooh, need to wet this. Really need a wet brush to get these wispy, fun, cloudy things. And I find that this palette right here, with all the glitter, is very, very grainy. Like, it likes to sink into the deep, deep depths of the paper. So while, you know, it has really pretty, like, glittery effects, it seeps into the paper and it's not fun. It likes to, you know, sit there. And it makes it look like sand. Which would be great for a beach picture. But we're not doing a beach picture. Look at that cool thing that we got going on there. I'm scared because now I have all this on the side. There we go. Just kind of dabby dab. I gotta stop saying dab because now I'm just hurting myself here. I'm gonna start adding blue because it's still very wet. Let me just make sure it is still pretty wet in some spots. Okay. I might lay off the glitter for a little bit. So I'm taking ultramarine, but I'm also, on the other side of my brush, going to dab into Prussian blue. And we're going to see what that does. I want to see some fun effects. Because I don't want to use black. Because the black that we're going to use is going to mostly be down here. So to darken some of these areas up in the sky, we needed to figure out another color. So ultramarine is a very bright blue, whereas Prussian blue is a bit darker. So adding that is going to give us some darker values in our sky here. I mean, you could also use whatever you want to use. You can use purple if you have whatever is in your palette, basically. You can use whatever you want. Or you don't have to focus on values. You can just focus on having fun, because that's fun too. Okay. Let's see. What do I need? What do I need? I feel like there's too much yellow, so I'm going to fix that later. I'm going to go in with blue, or not blue, purple. My violet. This isn't very violet though. To me, violet is more of like a redder purple. This is just a very purple. Ooh, more water, please. Here we go. Yeah, the Prussian blue and ultramarine combo is definitely a lot darker than this purple. But it is nice to put in around areas. Looks neat. I'm so scared because now I have like these lines here. Oy. Now I feel like all of the pigment is going down the sides of the paper, which is kind of annoying because I don't want them on the sides of the paper. I need them in the middle. Hopefully you guys aren't having this issue, because that would just be terrible. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of yellow, so I'm gonna actually probably tone that down. I'm not gonna do it yet because it's still pretty wet in this area down here, and I don't want that much orange, so I'm gonna wait, and then once that's all dry, I'm gonna go in and probably put pink down there or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and just leave you guys hanging, and we'll come back when this is dry. All right, we're really starting to get somewhere now, but like I said, I do want to kind of lessen this yellow area. I might actually make kind of a semicircle. So I'm gonna wet the paper, and probably what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm going to just get some pink and start putting that in this area, just to kind of help, because I still want to keep this area pretty bright, but it's very bright right now. So I'm just trying to dab some water on here. All right. Because I want the focus mainly to be, you know, on the couple. Like as soon as you see the image, your face is drawn more to your eyes are drawn more to the couple in the middle because they're in such a bright area. So I'm going to take my pink with a very wet brush and a very wet paper, and I'm going to start trying to get this area to be a little bit more pink. And it's okay if some yellow still shows through. That's perfectly fine. Because then it will look more like clouds or something. So that's good. I should have tried to maybe tack down my paper more. That actually looks really cool, how it's creeping up the page. So I know it's silly, we just came back, but I do want to let that kind of dry, because I'm hoping that maybe if I put more sticky tack on the other side of my paper that it will help with the bubbling. So I'll be back in a moment. I do believe I shall be successful, hopefully. I've noticed that just all the color keeps going down the sides here, and I think that's why this isn't as opaque as it could be, as dark as it could be really. So hopefully by doing that I will finally be able to make some progress here. So I'm just very lightly trying to get this wet without moving the colors around too much. My only fear now is that with the way that I did this, that a lot of the color is going to pool in the middle. And I do believe that is what's going to happen. So we're just going to have to be mindful of where we place our color. But like I said, if you are smart and not using a journal like me, you're probably going to have an easier time with this because your surface will probably be more even. But that's okay. You know what we're going to do? We'll work with it. Because what I could do is when I let it dry, then I could reposition the bubbles. You know, that way I can... I got it in my head. I got it. So I'm taking ultramarine and Prussian blue again. Because I do need more... I need more blue areas. Because a lot of my blue disappeared. Disappeared on the sides. Like that. See? See, I see you. You think I don't see you, but I do. Alright, so we got our blue in. Alright. That's definitely going to help. I'm really liking this area in the middle that's light. So I'm going to try and keep that. I really do want to try and keep that. And now I'm just manipulating the water flow here. And now we're going to get some really neat effects with it. There's so much fun things you can do with watercolor. It really is a fun medium. It's really cool. I do want to kind of darken this area a little bit more, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm actually going to add some pink. Let's see. How do I want to... I kind of want to add it... I want to darken it, but I don't want to super darken it. That's okay. You know what? We'll just put it in. We're just going to put it in and let it do its thing. Okay. I was listening to some music from Guardians of the Galaxy. So now the Come and Get Your Love song is in my head. Love music. I love all kinds of music. I feel like I have to sneeze. I really do need more dark values. Maybe I'll just add straight up Prussian blue and see what happens. I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add it right here. And it's gonna go. It's gonna mingle with that pink there, and it's probably gonna make purple. I mean, watercolors in general aren't supposed to be that opaque, but it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying when you want certain areas to be very dark. You can't quite get that sometimes. Look at these areas here. I like this one, but this is too dark. I might lift some of that. You see what I mean about the bubbles, though? Need some more towel. I'm going to try and soak up a little bit of that. How does that look? See, now what I'm noticing is now I have a hard water edge here, and I'll probably just buff that out. For right now, this isn't looking too bad. But like I said, I am going to let this dry. And then I'll probably try to reposition things so that I don't have bubbles. Not bubbles, but like there's two kind of little valleys here. And that's why all of the water's pooling there. But by repositioning them, I can try and get those effects in different spots. So this is going to dry. It's probably going to take a while because there is a lot of water on the paper, but I think it'll look really cool once it's dry. So we're going to just wait and see. So you can see that this is not quite dry. Excuse me, I had a snack. And I have this pool here. I'm going to try and work around it. But pretty much what I want to do is I still want to get this a little bit darker. So what I'm going to try to do is maybe put like a cast of pink over it. So I'm going to go on a dry wet method. So my paper is dry. And I want to take a slightly damp brush that has paint on it, but I don't want a lot of paint, so I am taking a lot of it off, and then I'm going to go over this yellow area. Okay. So now some of this pool area is coming in, and that's all right. But now to prevent any lines from forming, I am dragging the color down. Okay. So that's gonna play. I don't really mind. It'll look pretty neat, I think. It'll kind of help tie everything together. But I still do need to somehow darken this area up here. So, I might have to add a little bit of black. So I'm going to take Prussian blue. Actually, no, I got to dampen my paper first. I actually did not move the bubbles around. So we're going to see how this works. And I'm only wetting half of the paper. Okay. So I'm going to take Prussian blue with some purple and gray. Gray's down here. I don't know how this is going to look. It's going to be a mystery. Okay, well, that is actually helping quite a bit. Hopefully, it doesn't pool anywhere. Let's see. I actually like that combination. That worked out really well. There's definitely a lot, there's not as much purple as I thought I'd put in, but that's okay. Now I'm just trying to get that color mixed in, because it definitely is helping to create some value up there. I want to fix this area down here, so it just looks pretty ugh. So all I'm doing is taking my wet brush and just mixing, well, not really mixing, but scrubbing it out. And I won't be able to get it all, but it won't look as gross. This area is gonna take forever. So I'm gonna actually help it by spreading out that puddle. Here we go. I'm just getting that everywhere. It definitely looks interesting. It's not exactly what I was going for, but it's alright. Sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay. don't want you to mix down there too much. Okay. So it's definitely interesting. But I'm starting to get some muddy areas. So I think I might stop here. I feel like this is a pretty good stopping point. Because I feel like if I start putting any more, it's just going to get too crazy and I'm not going to like the result. So I'm going to let this dry again. I might... Let me see what happens if I do this. Because this area is very bright. And I feel like my eye's getting drawn to that area. More than it should. I might put some pink there. Right here. Boop. Let's see what happens. Because like a lot of my pink is now in the background. Because of all the blue that was put on top. So I might try adding some pink again. I like the depth, but I feel like I'm losing some stuff. All right. Okay. I think I'm getting really close to wanting to put in the ink as well as the stars. I'm probably going to put in the stars first because I don't want to put the ink down and then do the splatter with the white ink and then have it end up on the black. I mean, I could still cover it up, but less steps is better. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry and then I'm going to start splattering some white. Excuse all the paper towels. I was getting ready to do the white splatter effect for the stars, but I just keep looking at this and I feel like I definitely need those darker values, and the only way I'm going to get them is by adding black. So I'm going to wet my paper here. I did try in the corners a little bit, but I really feel like I need to add that black. Even in like really small increments, I just need that value in there. So I'm wetting the paper, but I don't want it super, 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 super wet. I just want it to be damp enough that when I start putting this on, it will spread. But I only want it in certain areas. Okay, okay. Try and put it more on top. My chair keeps moving. How's that look? Maybe I'll try adding Prussian blue to that mix too. And see what happens. Interesting. Very interesting. And now I'm just adding water. I just needed something to like get that darkness out there. Okay. Because my hope is that by adding black on the bottom, it's going to help balance the top. But we'll see. I don't know. All this art stuff is just so new to me. So now this definitely has to rest and dry, and then I can start adding the stars finally. And then hopefully we'll be done, because I feel like this piece is taking forever to make. So I will see you in just a second. Alright, so I do still have some wet spots, but I'm running out of time here. It's getting a little late. My little brother's going to be up soon. So I am going to add the white with a toothbrush. Use an old toothbrush head, okay? And I just dip it a little bit. And then I do this. Now that's why I put the towels down, because I knew it was going to go everywhere. There we go. How's that look? That's good enough. We don't need a whole lot. Now that shouldn't take very long to dry at all. But still, I do have to stop the camera because I actually want to start cleaning up a little bit. And then we'll finish off with the ink. Ooh, we're shaking. Okay, so I did clean off my desk a little bit because it was getting a little crazy. And I'm glad I put the towels down because that spray went everywhere. So you don't necessarily have to use an electric toothbrush. You can use a regular toothbrush. You could use a brush and just kind of, you know, smack it. Anything. Or you can just, you know, if you want to be really meticulous, you can just dot stars on there, or you don't have to put stars on at all. But like I said, I have to pretty much get done here. So I mean, we're pretty dry at the bottom. Yeah. So I'm gonna start, I think I'll start with the characters first. And here we go. I do need a much smaller brush. You could also, you know, if you have dip pens, you could do with dip pens too. But I found in the last couple of weeks that I really would like to get a much thinner and also shorter liner brush, because this can be a little ridiculous. Oh, I'm getting white on me. Some of my white ink was not quite dry. Let's move on to the dude. And you don't even have to do like a pose like this. You can do whatever kind of silhouette you want to do. Uh-oh, my white ink is showing through my black ink. Well, that's interesting. And see, that's why I like doing these paints. I don't know why I got rid of my water, because I needed to clean off my brush. Did you get to see how things interact? Alright, I'm going to start with these kind of craggy, kind of mountainy area. I need some more paint, or ink. And this is where you can get a little crazy. Wow, that really is showing. Maybe I wonder if I can chip that off. Because that is actually really strange. I didn't think the white ink was going to give me that much of an issue. But it kind of looks cool now that I'm really seeing it. Okay. And try and give it a little bit of texture there. Kind of looks like the rocks, maybe. The white ink could be rocks. But I really don't like this ink. It's not very opaque. I wonder. That's not it. Where is my other ink bottle? Huh. Where are you? I have a really old bottle of ink that I can't for some reason seem to find. But it was, I believe, Pro Art is the maker of it. Wow, why can't I find that? Because it's hiding back here. Okay, so why don't we do a little experiment? So this half of the drawing was done with Blick Arts Black Cat ink. And the other half we're gonna do with, now I don't think you can buy this anymore, at least not in this label, but it was Pro Arts India ink. A lot of people default to Dr. P.H. Martin's, I think, now for the best ink. Also, this is like old, so it's gonna be a lot thicker, but when I used this as a kid, I noticed it was really opaque. So this side is that ink. Used to buy this stuff a lot. Now, I don't know if you can tell a difference, but I can tell a difference here. This is like a lot streakier on this side. This is like straight up jet black. But like I said, I've had this for literally like 10 plus years. It has been tightly closed the entire time. But it was the ink I used a lot as a kid. It's very thick. I used it for my dip pens, but I noticed lately, and I'm wondering if it's because it's older now, but I noticed that it doesn't flow very well through my nibs. But I don't remember having that much trouble before. Yeah, this stuff is like really opaque. This is good stuff. See that? This looks better now. I think having this black down here helps me finally see what I was envisioning in my head. That looks cool. That looks really cool. I kind of like having that streaky over there because I feel like it kind of adds like a light type of effect. They're floating here though. I need to fix them. They're kind of floating. The ground wasn't stable under them. Okay, so that is pretty much done. I don't really have anywhere to sign this piece right now. I might do it in white at the bottom, but I think we're done. I think we're done. This piece is done. We're done. Okay, done. I'm tired of it. It's getting late. Been working on this for a while now. Okay, I think we're done. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before I leave, I just do want to say that Friday, I haven't figured out Friday's video yet, but there will be a video Friday. As far as next week, for Valentine's Day, I am thinking of doing 3 videos. Monday, I will have a speed paint. Wednesday should be our regular real-time paint together. And then Friday will also be a speed paint, and they're all Valentine's Day related. So that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, I would totally appreciate if you would subscribe if you like seeing art related videos like this, as well as others, as well as things coming up in the future. So remember to draw what you love and love what you draw, and I'll catch you in the next video.